What's going on? Good Man Perfection back again with another video. Yes, people, we have the number 2 out of 3 of the Ultra MMA. Okay, and there's a lot to tell you guys, a lot to tell you. Before we get stuck in there, please understand, you know, why I'm doing this in the first place. It's in aid of Cancer Research UK. So please, people, if you can, go just follow the link below, justgiving.com/melody kills, and donate as little as £5 if you can. Every penny helps. It's all going towards a good aid. Okay, Cancer Research UK, guys. Okay, that's why I'm putting it out there. Right, so let's move on from that, guys. Right, so about 2 weeks ago, I posted this picture, and underneath it I put, Sunday was full on bone crunching, in your face sparring. However, today was all smiles, warm, cute and cuddly. I pray that some of these guys knows what's in store for them come the night of the 27th, 11th, 22. Now, to some people they may say, look, that sounds a bit arrogant. Know what's in store for them and this and that. What kind of language is that? Okay, where's the humble? Where's the humility in that? Okay, right. So let's move on to another scene. There we go. Right. So, where did I leave off from the first video? So, from the very first video, that was my very first day there, right? And it was very intense, guys. Remember, I said to you guys, when we went there, it was very intense. We were doing star jumps to burpees, star jumps to sprawls, jumping knee raises. He was putting us at about 90% of our of our maximum heart rate, right? And again, I'm someone, to be honest with you, I'm not really too concerned about what the next man is doing. I'm only concerned with what I'm doing, yeah? So if there's people in the car slacking and all of that, I don't really watch them. I just watch what I'm doing, you know? But we were put through 90%, and I'm thinking to myself that if this is day one, then damn, this is going to be tough. However, I can honestly say it has got slightly easier. The intensity that we had on day one isn't the same intensity that's been there throughout the continuous sessions that have gone on. It hasn't been that same intensity. If anything, that intensity has kind of slightly dropped. What has happened, however, is we've taken on a lot of cognitive, mental exercises, jiu-jitsu exercises, holds and things like that to take on, and that has been mentally exhausted and draining. Okay, so let's not get too technical. It's as simple as this. A lot of the stuff that we've learned hasn't been physically draining, but a lot of the stuff that we've learned has been very taxing on the brain, because it's a lot of hold palm here and hold this and rotate the wrist, and it is kind of draining to kind of keep up with what's going on and spin round this way and put your leg over his knee. All of that kind of stuff is draining, right? However, let's get back to that picture. Right, so this picture here. However, the reason why I put that caption up with the words Sunday was full on bone crunching, in your face sparring, however today was all smiles, warm, cute and cuddly, is because there are literally some people there. There are some people here, okay, which literally, I wouldn't even say can't fight. I can't even say they can't fight. I just say that they haven't taken it seriously. They have not taken it seriously, okay? And I do have to ask myself, why are they there? Now remember I said to you guys, like, what is the purpose of these videos, right? The purpose of these videos is to teach people what they have in store for them, what this whole thing is about. What is white collar boxing about? What is Ultra MMA white collar boxing about? What is white collar boxing London? What is Ultra MMA? Whatever. What are these charity based fighting things all about, right? You've got certain people in this class that are there after, say, 4 weeks, and it appears as though they haven't actually learned anything. Do you understand? And you genuinely have to ask yourself, why are they there? Do you understand? And it was sad because I did literally try to reach out to some of those guys that were struggling in the class, that literally had kind of almost like they had no training. They had no training, yeah. Um, they had no training outside of the session. They had no preparation prior to them taking on, considering taking on this MMA thing. No training whatsoever. You can't walk into something like this having zero training. You can't. You might have zero training in regards to being able to defend yourself, but you have to be some sort of an athlete. Do you understand? You can't walk in. That's like me walking into this MMA thing being a beast. Do you understand? It's like me walking into a session. It's like me walking into ultra white collar boxing next month, right? And I'm a beast, and I expect that I'm somehow gonna fight people. I think it's a red flag in regards to how these organisations are running. Had this been white collar boxing, I can promise you, he wouldn't have made it this far. Whoever the people that are slacking in this class, purposely slacking, they would have been sent home. Do you understand? And had I been matched with any of these guys that were slacking, I would literally, I would be looking to basically devour them. It's as simple as that. So the best way I'm putting it to you is that I believe that those people should not be here. So where am I going with this? Simple as this. If you're going to sign up to something like this, be prepared to go all out. I have certain friends that were interested in this, but they had to work 6 days, 6 days a week, right? So it's understandable. You do not have the time to be working 6 days a week and taking on something like Ultra MMA. It's as simple as that. Because even for people that do have the time and turn up to every class, it's still not enough. You're learning too much. Okay? Right, let's check out a couple of videos, guys, before, right, so sorry. So that's my latest picture there. So that was the latest sparring that I done that's the latest sparring session that I done after the sparring session. Let me move myself out the way, guys, so you can see it. Right, so this was Sunday just gone. And people generally have not turned up to Sunday sparring. And the reason why they haven't turned up to it is because Sundays have now become quite brutal. And the sparring has become quite aggressive. The sparring has become quite realistic in regards to fighting. Let's have a look at some of the. Look at what's going on here. Okay, so this was an exercise basically when we're on our knees, and basically it's a simple jiu-jitsu exercise where you're on your knees and you're trying to basically pin your opponent to the floor. It's as simple as that. This exercise here is an exercise where you're trying to keep your opponent pinned down. It's another jiu-jitsu exercise. It's teaching you to hold your opponent pinned down. But let's check out some sparring from. We're gonna check out some sparring from. Okay, let's go. Wow. Let's look at this one.
side, stop bouncing. Now you're in someone else's ring. Boys, that's okay. You don't have fun.
Right, let's look at the last video. Oh, there's me in it. Finally found the video. Right, so getting back, guys. So 2 weeks ago we first started. It's the midpoint now, obviously, of this whole MMA journey thing. And 2 weeks ago I finally ended up doing a bit of sparring. It was unprepared. It was on a Sunday. I didn't know when the sparring was going to come. They just suddenly said, right, put on your gear, because people have had their gears now for like 5 weeks, and they suddenly decide, right, one day, put on your gear, now's the day you're going to spar. And I'll be honest with you, my heart, because I'm 44, I don't know whether it's come from fear, I don't know whether it's come from age, I don't know what it is, but my heart started to beat, right? Almost like it was a real fight, okay? Yeah, and they were like, just put on your sparring gear and let's spar. And my heart was beating fast, guys, yeah? I thought the boxing experience was bad, okay? This is another kind of nerve-wracking. I don't know how to explain the kind of, my heart was literally jumping out of my chest. That's the best way of putting it to you. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I was put with a guy that weighed about 6 kg below my weight, but he was taller than me. He was 6 foot. He was about 6'3", say 6'2", and he had a very long reach, and he was basically picking me off with a jab. So street fight, it wasn't even about boxing anymore. It's just like street fight kicked in. My street fight skills kicked in, and I just basically charged him like an American football runner, using some of the jiu-jitsu skills that I just learned in the same session actually, and I basically pulled him to the ground. But to cut a long story short, the sparring in MMA is a hell of a lot more nerve-wracking than the boxing, and the reason why is because you can be kicked quite aggressively in your thigh. You can be slammed on the mat. I've ended up damaging my wrist. My wrist has been damaged where someone picked me up off the ground. They've tilted my legs to the side, and I've literally come smashing down. And I had to use my wrists to basically, what's the word, to break my fall. I've had to use my wrists, and I ended up damaging my right wrist. So my right wrist is damaged now. Last Sunday, someone aggressively kept on kicking me in my thigh. Now my thigh is in a lot of pain. It's been in a lot of pain for the last 3 or 4 days. And also my right toe. So, but here's the thing, like if I was getting back to what I was saying earlier, right, about the class, there's other people in the class that are being protected. And that was the whole purpose of why I put up that picture, saying, you know, like, do people know what they're in store for here? And they kind of don't know what they're in store for because they're being protected. And I think it's unfair on people like myself, for example, that every time they're there are being put with quite, I wouldn't say, I'm being put with people that are equally or stronger than me. They're either equally as strong as me or stronger. Do you understand? I'm never being put with mismatches. I'm always being put with someone stronger. And there's people in the class there that aren't experiencing the same thing, and I think it's kind of unfair. But to cut a long story short, I've developed injuries now. Injuries to my right wrist, injuries to my left hamstring, and injuries to my right foot. Okay, it is the most nerve-wracking experience you could ever imagine. The only thing I can say to people that have the confidence to do something like this, remember there's two sides of the fence. There's one side of the fence where if they believe that you're strong, it can be quite a nightmare, for you. That's the best way of me putting it to you. I'm not even going to cut corners on it. If they believe that you're a strong person, it can be a bit of a nightmare for you. Okay, let me switch to this scene here. Right, so yeah, if they believe that you're strong, or they believe you've got muscles, or you demonstrate a bit of strength, you're always going to be put with tough guys. So it gets to a stage where you are dreading, just like the boxing, you're dreading turning up because you think, I'm going to go in for a hard night. However, the other side of the fence is, if you're someone that looks like they don't know what they're doing, you'll be put with other people, and those other people are going to protect you. They're not going to go hard on you. They're not going to go this, they're not going to go that on you. So, but I just still don't think it's fair. I know that in the white collar boxing, there's certain people in this organization now that would not have made it. I'm talking about the fighters. There's certain fighters that would not have made it to where we're at now. They wouldn't have made it. They would have. And I'm not here to kind of belittle the ultra white collar boxing organization. I think it's really brilliant. I think it's good that they offer 3 sessions a week training. Some of them it's only 2 sessions a week, but I think that's brilliant. Personal trainers are there in case you need extra support. There's extra classes there. You can sign up to the normal weekly martial arts classes that are available inside of the gym and learn extra things and things like that. So there's a lot of extra things that you can do. I respect all of that, but you know, the same attitude that they had on day one, you know, if you're weak and you don't like it here, you should go home. They didn't continue that through, and there's certain people in the class, in my eyes, that are a mismatch. And I think rather than kick them out, all they're going to do is they're going to find someone just as kind of lazy as them and put the 2 lazy people together. Do you understand? That's what they're going to do. And I think that's slightly unfair to a certain degree. But anyway, so where am I going to go over? How am I going to end this? What is there to say? So yeah, so all I'm going to say is Ultra MMA, we're at I'm at the middle point now where I am dreading each Sunday because it's full on sparring. I'm picking up injuries. I've got to decide now whether I'm going to go to the next Sunday's class because my hamstring hasn't healed yet, where someone was kicking it and blasting it, continuously blasting my hamstring with kicks. I've been put with guys that are slightly taller than me. Like I said, if you remember the white collar boxing guys where I was faced to some giant, I was faced to this guy here, okay? He was about 15 kg above my weight, and 15 kg above your weight in MMA is a very nasty mismatch. Okay, 15 kg above your weight in MMA. Let's find some other. Right, so there we go, guys, there we go. So you see this guy here? Let's pause it. Let's go back. Right, so you see this guy here? This one here? I've dropped my weight down now to about 90 kilograms, right? This guy in the black is 96 kilograms. This guy here, I'm guessing, is about 105 kilograms, probably more than that. Okay, now if we went back to the boxing, I was faced with a guy that was 15 kg above my weight, so he was able to walk through my punches, right? Now we're going to flip back to what is it like facing someone that's 15 kg above your weight, but this time it's in ultra MMA rather than boxing, right? So he's going easy on this guy here. He's going easy on this guy here, right? Okay.
Guys, pick the pace up a bit. You guys are taking each other. Respond.
Right, let's find a clip, let's let's find a real clip, because I think that particular exercise there was you hit me twice, I hit you twice, right? This is sparring. Here we go. Let's look at this. Is real sparring. This is real sparring, guys. This is real sparring. Right, so that's real sparring there. Getting back to it, right, so I was saying to you that I had to fight someone in the white collar boxing that was 15 kg above my weight, which was this big guy here, right? What was it like fighting someone that was 15 kg above my weight in MMA? And there he is again. Okay, so let's pause it. Right. So there's the big old loaf hair, this one here. So it's one thing fighting someone that's 15 kg above your weight in boxing, but in MMA, you got to understand that not only can they walk through your punches, but they can then grab onto you. They can then give you aggressive knee, which has 15 kg above it, into your stomach. They can then literally lift you up because you're 15 kg lighter than them. They can then slam you down on your hands or your shoulders or whatever. And then they can bring their 15 kg weight, which is above yours. So I weigh 90 kilograms. That's 105 kilograms at least coming down on me when he's slamming me. He can then crush me with that weight, and there's literally nothing that I can do to stop this guy being on top of me. Okay, a weight mismatch in MMA is very dangerous. Do you understand? I think that because of the way I look, because of the way my previous weightlifting training, they're no longer putting me or pitting me against guys that are my weight. If they are, then if they're less than what I weigh, then they're likely to be a lot younger than me. Do you understand? So if I'm 90 kilograms, they will pit me with someone that, say, 85 kilograms, but say is in their mid 20s or is in their early 30s. Do you understand? Which is tough because my cardio at 44 years old is really poor. My reflexes, which brings me to CM Punk. I don't know if anyone ever saw CM Punk in MMA, but CM Punk in MMA really looks bad. Let's just quickly get it up. Let's just quickly get it up. Because obviously there's going to be copyrights here, guys, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But you've seen the fight. CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. Watch it, okay? Within the first minute of the fight, CM Punk is gassed out. Within the first minute of the fight. That's how I look. I now look like a granddad. Even when I watch my clips back, I look like a granddad. So when they're pitting me against someone that is in their, say, mid-20s, and I'm 44, even though he weighs 5 kg less than me, he still has a serious advantage. Or they will put me against someone that weighs, say, 10 kg above my weight, and generally, yeah, I've been put with people that are generally 10 kg above my weight, but taller than me. So it's very hard for me to get in on them close. But I'm not gonna, look, guys, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain, yeah? Ultra MMA, it's not easy, it's tough. Sundays are really scary. I don't know if I can come in this Sunday because of the injury that I have. But anyone that wants to take part in this, all I would say to you is that if you're not taking it seriously, don't do it. Don't, if you're not, listen, if you're not here to take this thing seriously, right? Don't sign up to it. Please don't sign up to it, you know? If you're working too hard in your job, you don't sign up to this. Rather than be put I'm here to learn how to fight, guys. I'm here to learn how to fight. I'm not here to be matched up with someone that doesn't know how to fight because I haven't taken interest in this whole process. Therefore, I get matched with someone that hasn't taken interest in this whole process as well. And then at the end of it, we're kind of like two 10-year-old kids inside of a bouncy castle with what's those battering rams that you hit each other with? And we're like, do you understand it? It's like a silly little game that we're playing. Yeah, you're going there in the intention of learning how to fight, how to defend yourself. If you don't have the time to put into that, don't go to it. Simple as. Do not go. You know, I originally thought those mismatches would be put with serious guys, but then it came to me, there's no way they're going to put those two guys that don't belong there. They're not going to put them with serious guys, Luke. So when you're writing, I pray that these guys understand what's in store for them. There is nothing in store with them. They just shouldn't be there. All what's going to happen is he's going to be put with two. But cut long story short, if you're not willing to put in that effort, don't go. Last thing I'll say to you as well is that make sure that you have someone, whether it be a girlfriend, whether it even be your mum, whether it be your dad, whether it be your brother, you have someone that you can practice the jiu-jitsu holds on. Because if you're faced with someone that's a lot taller than you, they can just pick you off with a jab. And if you haven't been learning Mike Tyson boxing where you can just weed your way inside, and if you haven't been learning that, then how are you going to get close to this guy? He can kick you from afar to your thighs, which happened to me. He can kick you, and he can also jab you as well. So the only thing I can do against guys like that, because last Sunday I had 3 guys that were taller than me. I'm 6 foot. One of them was, in fact, one of them is this guy here. Let me just quickly switch to this scene. One of them is this guy here. Okay, he's probably about 6 foot 3, 4. Okay, he's 103 kg, I think, something like that, right? If you're faced with someone that's taller than you, you're going to have to learn how to do jiu-jitsu. So before, if you're looking to sign up to this thing, make sure you have a dedicated partner that you can ring up and say, right, let me practice some of the stuff that I've been learning so I can get good at this. Because you might get faced with someone that's just taller than you, which I've seen some MMA matches on YouTube from Ultra MMA where it's like, how the hell did you match these two together? Because one guy is literally 6'4" and another guy is 5'10". So how do they go together? What made you think that these two guys can go together? So just in case you are put in with a mismatch, have someone there if you're looking to sign up to this thing that is going to devote their time to helping you master some jiu-jitsu holds and things like that. So if you can't stand up and fight this person, you have a chance of taking them to the ground and choking them or this or that. Because if you don't, you're in a lot of trouble. And if you're very weak on the ground and some guy's having you up and curving you, folding you up like an armchair and all that kind of stuff, make sure that you have the money to take part in the gym's martial arts classes that go on throughout the week. Okay, make sure that you take part in, just like in white collar boxing, people went off to other gyms and did sparring there. Make sure that you're doing some sort of kickboxing or something to kind of make up, compensate for your lack of jiu-jitsu skills or wrestling skills. Do you understand? Because another thing I'll say, which is obvious anyway, those guys should never have been there. A, because they don't know how to fight. B, because they obviously haven't invested in time into knowing what they got themselves into. And C, cardio. If you can't do at least 25 minutes of continuous running around the park, don't do this. This is not for you. Simple as. Good man perfection. Hope you enjoyed watching. The last video that I will do will be after the fight is finished. And like always, guys, this has nothing to do with me winning or losing. This has something to do with me learning how to fight and learning how to defend myself. I do not know who my opponent is. They're leaving it to the last minute as per usual. What I do know is, again, they're not going to give me a mismatch. They will not give me a mismatch, because where I've been doing weightlifting prior to this, it's carried over into this MMA thing, and I am quite strong. My stamina is really poor, but my strength is really there. So they're not going to put me in a mismatch. They're not going to put me in one of those guys that don't even know how to throw a punch. They're not going to do that. They're going to put me with someone in there, most likely taller than me, you know, most likely a lot fitter, most likely younger than me, and this and that. That's what's going to happen. So I'm not really bothered about. Well, I'd like to win. I would like to win, but a lot of my friends, when I'm saying to you, make sure you have a friend that's willing to help you in this and that. A lot of my friends seem to be busy or don't really have much time to devote to helping me, which is fine. The people in the class, before people start saying about the YouTube page where you're saying, oh boy, you know, I pray for them and this and that, Luke's a bit egotistical. No, it wasn't. I was trying to help those guys. I was literally praying for them, because I thought, if you get put with someone that knows how to fight, you're going to get battered. Do you understand? You haven't devoted any time into preparation, and you're going to get yourself hurt. And I walked up to those guys and I said to them, listen, you've got my number. Ring me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We will go in my backyard if the weather's good, or we're going to my gym and we will practice these blah blah blah. Why would I do that? What are you trying to say? I'm trying to say that, you know, maybe you're struggling like me with standing up and fighting, so maybe wrestling's the right thing for you to do. Let's get into my gym. What? Why would I want to do that? You know what? You're right. Why would you want to do it? Keep doing you. Do you understand? So, all I can say to you guys, I'm just going to give it my all. If I don't get the training in for the jiu-jitsu and this and that, I'm just going to go in there and give my all and do my best. You know, that's all I can do. Because right now, I haven't had anyone to practice a lot of the jiu-jitsu stuff that we've been going over. And, you know, I said to you I had learning difficulties anyway. I'm a slow learner, so I need to repetitively go over drills, repetitively go over strangleholds and where my hand goes and where my knee's positioned. And I haven't had anyone to do that. So, my standing up game, like I said already, I've always been pitted on Sundays against guys that are taller than me or weigh a lot more than me. And I know come fight night, I'm going to be fighting one of those guys. Do you understand? And it's going to be my raw strength versus their youthfulness, versus their height advantage that they have against me, versus their reach. Yeah, and that's as simple as that. Versus their weight. I'm just going to give my best shot. And at least at the end of it, I will know how to defend myself, you know. And that's it. It's all good. I'm not complaining. I'm not bitching. I'm not moaning. Let's bring it on. Same thing with the boxing thing. Bring it on, you know. I may not go to this Sunday sparring match, not because I'm scared of it, which I am, but because if my left thigh hasn't healed by that time, I'm not going to go in on the 27th of November. I'm not going to go into this fight injured, like an injured dog, and you know, no way. So let them say what they want. And this is another important thing as well, guys, is that I told you from the boxing that if the trainers start mouthing off and getting a bit leery and talking about, boy, you know, why are you backing out and why aren't you doing this? Tell them straight, listen, mate, I'm injured. I'm not gonna kind of go into the fight injured, mate. I'm not gonna further provoke whatever injury it is just to make you guys feel happy or just to make you guys, you know, think more of me or whatever it is. I'm not going to jeopardize that. Do you understand? I've sold tickets which I can't get a refund for, and now I'm looking after myself. So if I look like a pee hole, whatever, then that's what I am. I'm gonna heal up so that come 27th of November, I can fight properly. Do you understand? But yeah, I'm a man. I'm not afraid to admit that it's a bit scary, because people just in life, for some reason in life, I seem to always get the tougher side of things. Whether if I'm in a classroom, teachers assume that I'm the smartest and I'm blah blah blah, and the reality of it is, I'm one of the hardest workers. I'm the guy with learning difficulties and blah blah blah. But you know, the Lord that never gives us more than what we can handle. So maybe I'm destined to go through these things. Maybe I'm destined for more. I'm destined to do more. You know, do you understand? And it's just some have greatness thrust upon them. This is it's thrust upon me. I don't always want it, but it is. It's thrust upon me. And you know what? Let's have it. As Dylan White would say, let's have it. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something from this in case you're thinking of going into the MMA thing. Um, make sure you can do 25 minutes around the park. Make sure you have a sparring partner. Make sure you attend every class if you can, and some, because every class isn't enough. You need to attend a little more than that. Okay. It's been a long video, but trust me, yeah, watch it if you're thinking about going into MMA, and you'll be 10 times more prepared, 10 times more clued up, and 10 times worthy of being there, as opposed to you being there and you're throwing jabs like that, and you know, and everyone's going easy on you. What's the point in you being there then? What, like, at the end of this whole experience, will you even know how to defend yourself if that's the case? No, you won't. So yeah, you can tell your friends you're taking part in it, but what was the point? Do you understand? Guys, thank you for watching. Peace, one love.